Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to this stream. This is going to be welcome to the Horry Sheet Show, first of all, and the Grassroots Think Tank. But this video right here is going to be something else. This is a guy talking about going outside of the dome and what he saw. And I'm just going to say, if any of this is actually how it is, we got some problems. We got some problems. And the problem I have with it personally is that I feel like this has always been the problem. Like, we're trapped here one way or the other. And in this hour of video that I'm going to play, at least 45 minutes of this and talk, I'm going to pause it and talk about it with you guys. This is going to really be something interesting to hear. Now, this guy, Rich, I believe his name is Rich West, because he runs a website, richwest.net. So if you guys want to check it out, let's see if I can pull it up here on the screen here. Yeah. Rich West. So you guys check out his site. He's got a couple of different books. He's got an UBI boot camp, out of body experience boot camp, $29.99. That's the link that I have up right now. But he's got entity removal, like all this kind of stuff. You got to check it out. Also, his let's see, his friend, or I'm not sure what her name is, but anyway, she's in the video as well. Check it out. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna listen to this, and yeah, it's really interesting. He talks about going outside of the dome. He's a outer body practitioner that knows his stuff, because I've watched a lot of his videos before, and it's hard to find people that are really like, what's the word, just that really know their stuff. It's hard enough to find genuine people, but the people that know their stuff and they're just out here like trying to get it out as well, that's really cool. So yeah, we're gonna watch this. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat before we get underway. What's up? It's the exact title you used, Horry. New video today. What? Tell me I'm not having trouble with the YouTube video titling, because that would just, be the icing on the cake. Like, no, it's good. Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe you can call in Ace. It's confusing me. Okay, I'm gonna move on. The chat looks very interesting in a whole different level. I'm not even gonna go there. You guys chill out, please. This video, check it out. We're gonna listen to it. I'm gonna pause it every now and then. We're gonna talk about it. But holy shit, if any of this is true, we got some common fight here. Believe me, we're connected for a reason, and it might be because we're trapped. And if you think the police and the government and the military is bad, Jesus, just watch this.
So, do you have any favorite UBIs you've had? Like something that stands out that you...
And she says the word UBI, so that translates into out of body experience. So she's going to say that a lot, and you're going to be like, what is UBI? That's an UBI. So,
would like to share with people?
Yeah, and it's back on topic. We were talking about Prison Planet Earth and the forced reincarnation. And it relates. Forced reincarnation is you got out of body because it died, but you're out, and now they're going to force you back into another body. So if you can learn how to get out of body without your body dying, they're They still might try to force you back into your body, but you'll learn some stuff and you'll bring it back and you can remember it. When you practice remembering your dreams, lucid dreams and your out-of-body experiences, then you're learning how to remember this stuff so you can go out and have these great adventures and get back here and remember how it is in the afterlife, in the non-physical realms. So it comes in very handy that way. So, so one of the most telling out-of-body experiences I had that had to do with this prison planet thing is I found myself in a realm. It's like a belief system territory, like a flat Earth plane with a dome over it, kind of like that. We're not talking about flat Earth right now. This is not about experience I had though. And
but hold on, he goes out of body, and he has an experience of a flat Earth with a dome over us, and he knows it's flat, okay? But he's got a lot of viewers that don't really jive with the flat Earth, but he threw that out there because he knows it's flat. Let's listen to that again.
In a realm, I found myself in a realm. It's like a belief system territory, like a flat Earth plane with a dome over it, kind of like that. We're not talking about flat Earth right now. This is not about experience I had though. And it's like there's a ground, and it's just a city with some forest and woods outside the city limits. And in the city, it's like a rundown, old, trashed, old city, poor side of town sort of city. Smoke and electrical, steampunk sort of feel to it. And there's people down there. And they're not happy people. They're walking around like zombies, really. Just work, living a very shallow existence, like slaves to a system. But when I got out of body, I was in this, it's like here's a flat ground level, and up here's the clouds, and above the clouds there's like a ceiling, and then above that it's like you're in an attic, and it's like it's domed like this. So you're in this attic, like domed attic sort of thing. So that's why I popped in awake. I go, where am I? What is this place? And it looked like refugee camp up there. Just human people, but little families and individuals, and they had the little, their little, towels and blankets strung across strings and ropes to like block off their little private areas. And it was just like right after a bad wreck, and a bunch of refugees are trying to set up a refugee camp. I go, what is this place? So I'm looking at that, and I look around and I see a robot AI thing, about 3.5 feet tall. It's all machine metal, and it's looking at me. And I just knew, this is the monitoring service. We're gonna keep an eye on you, bitch. And I looked at that thing, and it looks at me, and I said, don't even think about it. And the thing goes, and it went away. And I go, what's going on here? And then I look around, and I can see through the dome. The other refugees, I don't think, could see through it, but I had, my out-of-body superpowers with me. And so I could see through the dome wall, and outside was a big...
You put stuff like that, like not real nonchalant, but I get it. Your out-of-body superpowers, you totally have like you could see 360 degrees around you. Like I remember being in a chair, trying to go out of body, and I was in paralysis, which is the last step right before you peel out of your body. And I could hear everything, of course. Everybody could hear everything for the most part. We share that. But I could see what was behind and to the left of my head, and it was a group of 3 boys, and one of them had a pencil, and he was about to shove the eraser in my ear to tickle me, thinking that I was sleeping. And I'm like, no, he's going to ruin this. And I was in paralysis. I couldn't get out of it, and I couldn't leave my body just yet because I needed a little more time. And And as soon as he touched my ear with it, like, I didn't freak out, and I was like, oh, I just turned around and said, oh man, you almost, like, I almost left my body. And he was like, ah, and he like freaked out because I had been talking about it. And I told him everything that he was doing. I'm like, yeah, I knew that you were coming over with this pencil. And he was like freaking out, told me I needed Jesus. But yeah, like you could see, you could sense what's going on around you before it happened. Like I could totally see it, and I can't explain it. Can't explain how you have all these 360 sort of omnipresent abilities. But anyway,
Spacecraft,
let's back up.
but I had, my out of body superpowers with me, and so I could see through the dome wall, and outside was a big spacecraft, and there was a bay door opening, and they were floating out of the big spacecraft. These big tankers, like these shipping containers. They're on ships. They stack them up and they look like the back of a trailer, a truck trailer, and they put wheels under it and they haul around. At least
Spaceships, tankers, tanks.
kind of like that, but bigger. And actually, kind of think of a giant coffin. It looked more like a coffin, long thing. And these people in space, beings in space suits, like pressure suits, were floating around that thing, and and then moving this thing out. I'm sorry. Moving this thing out, and we're going like that, and all this shit.
Imagine.
But anyway, they were bringing this big giant container over to the dome, over to the dome here, and when they get the thing over to the dome, airlock thing or whatever. Anyway, they open this container up and they shoo all these people out, and they're like dead people in their astral bodies, like all these astral dead people. They don't know they're dead, or maybe they do, and they're going, "What the fuck? I thought when I die, something else is going to happen, not this."
That right there, like, hit some level of oh my god with me when I first heard that, because that's kind of like what I think's going on. I think we some of us choose to reincarnate, which I don't think, I have no idea why you would. I think we're trying to get out of here, and I think something more along the lines of what he's talking about. So there's all these astral bodies, dead people, like what's going on here? Coffin-like transport systems, spaceships, just outside of the dome. Like, all of this stuff are things that we have considered, and moved past from for a lot of us, but what's going on here? What's really going on here? Is any of this, could any of this be factual?
They literally got caught by some fucking ET fucking astral enslavers. Motherfucker. This is a personal experience. This happened to me personally. I didn't read this in a book.
Like you saw it, and not like you experienced the capturing, but more like you saw how.
Yeah, it didn't happen to me. I didn't get captured by the motherfuckers, but I saw it. I saw it. I was with my own eyes. Well, not these. But anyway, did we tell you this is entertainment channel, not educational? Oh, okay, good. So anyway, all these people are pouring out of this thing, and they're like little families, and it looks like a fucking train wreck. Literally, it's like, what, you guys just come out of a fucking train wreck? And they're piling in, they're filling up the refugee place too. I go, what the hell? But I could see the part where about the spaceship and being transported. I go, that's not right. this is not afterlife, right? This is not right. So I go, what's everybody doing up here? The fuck? And I can kind of look through, and there's clouds, and there's ground. The ground's way down there, like Zeus up here on Mount Olympus.
Yeah.
But it was a fucking prison or a little thing. Anyway, I just teleported because you can do that. Do you fly much when you go out of body?
Depends. I teleport more often than I fly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you walk around on the ground and bitch slap those reptilians and stuff?
Well, more like I just mog them, but depends.
Bitch.
I added the encounters.
Okay.
I gotta say, some of the games that I've been playing, Ace, Sorrento, dude, Ace, it's awesome. Yeah. Let me see what's the chat saying. Astral Cat Travel. Hey, Earthpond, how's it going? Singe Man, it's odd this Jesus they referred to by their own book states he said, "Do not worship me." Singe Man says, in my knowledge, this is the place of learning. As an energy being, there is no discomfort or need, and a stagnation starts. But if they keep wiping our mind, then, like, I don't know, why do we keep coming back with like a fresh, no other past life experiences? Like, I don't know, like I feel like we're being robbed one way or another. And if any of this is true, it just makes a lot of sense. He gets deeper with this, so let's listen.
All right. So anyway, I teleported down
Yeah, exactly, Paige.
to the ground level, and that's when I saw what the place looked like, and I described that already in the beginning of this story. I go, what the hell is this? And I wanted to talk to somebody. So there's I'm going to walk out of the gloomy-looking town. Some guy was on the corner selling
Right, Earthpond,
dried meat.
exactly.
He looked like
That's what I have a problem with Earthpond. Earthpond's like, I might be down to do it again if I could at least have my memories and even past ones. I mean, I know we're being robbed. And come on, monitor, stop. And yeah, that's the problem. All right, let me pay attention.
this little wagon with wheels driving the gloomy-looking town. Some guy was on the corner selling meat, dried meat, and a little. He looked like this little wagon with wheels on it, and a little canopy, and
So he comes back down and he sees this
smokestack on this thing. It's black smoke coming out of there, and selling these meat on the stream. I hope those aren't people. Anyway, I didn't want any of that. I said, I gotta get out of town here. So I started walking out of town, and it's very urban looking, roads with old railroad tracks going down on them, and the telephone poles and telephone wires hanging way down the floor than they should, right? It's like, this is a creepy place. So I'm walking out of town, but I want to talk to somebody. Besides the guy selling the burnt flesh of some guy, I hope it wasn't people. Anyway, I see, there's a lady. She's walking this way, and I'm walking this way. And I said, well, if I just walk a little faster, I'll meet up. And hey, lady. So I get up close and go, hey, lady, hey. And she's like, kind of not, she looks like she was ignoring me. I go, lady. She's ignoring me. Oh, it pissed me off. What the fuck are you ignoring me for? And it was kind of half ignore and half in zombie mode. And so finally and it wasn't audio loud, it's telepathic, but man, I just intense, hey! And she's like, huh? And then she wakes up out of her zombie trance, looks right at me, looks me right in the eyes, and then gets fucking terrified. And just went, and took off running.
Yeah, he would be interesting to talk to, because the way he explains his stuff, I know he's been places, I know he's done
I'm
things.
getting out of this fucking place. So I walk down the road. This is like a flat earth dome sort of looking deal, but in miniature. So I'm walking out of town, and there's woods over here, and I'm on the road, and there's I can see mountains in the distance, and some of you guys have heard this story before. I've only told it about 10 times.
Well, it's your favorite story.
It's my favorite fucking story, man. So, clouds, beautiful mountains out in the distance, you know. I go, yeah, that's where I want to go. So I'm walking that way. And as I walk closer, the mountains sort of get...
Paige says in chat, I've always wondered if ghosts are people astral traveling. I do believe that is a thing. I do believe that is a thing because I have heard of several stories where people have been seen in two places at once, both like in their bed and out and about. And there's no real other explanation for it than at least that person was sending their astral self out and somehow manifesting it here into the physical. I know that you can be sitting behind your keyboard typing to somebody. I know that, like, I've had a person to be typing to me and telling me all about astral projection. I'm like, that sounds great, bro, but I don't know if I believe in it. So he's like, all right, well, I'll show you. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I don't really like to do this, but I'm like, okay. So he told me like what my house looked like from the outside, like how big it was, and then these other smaller buildings and another big building next to it. And he described the color of the cars in the driveway, which he said one was green. And I'm like, I don't have a green car, but I went outside my house and there was a green car in my driveway. It was my brother's friend showing up for the weekend. I didn't even know the color of his car. It was green. There's no updated satellite imagery that could have, snapped the picture at that moment for him. No, this was before Google Earth and YouTube even. So, this was before YouTube. So like, and then he knocks a cup over in my room. Like he tells me about all of even my mailbox was black. I had a brick house, all these things I had to go out and confirm. And I'm like, oh my God, and then he knocks over this plastic cup on my desk. It really freaked me out. I'm like, what the hell was that? He knocked, something fell off my desk and I'm looking at it and this little cup's rolling on my floor. And I'm like, what the hell? And then he goes, bling. And I turn back at the computer. He's like, yeah, so blah, 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 blah. This is what your house looked like. And I couldn't touch you, but I knocked over something on your nightstand. Did you see it? That cup? And I'm like, oh my God, shit's real. Shit's real. And that's the whole reason why I started even looking into it. Like I had to, without that experience, I would have been really skeptical for a long time until I've had several of my own experiences now. You can't question it. But the way this guy talks about his exit techniques and things like that he does, I know he's doing the real things. He understands it on this real level. So I, listening to what he's saying here it's always pretty fascinating to me.
Kind of wavy looking, like on a hot day, and you're on the road and the distant mountains, you get those heat waves going up and it kind of distorts the view. I go, what the fuck is that? It's not hot. And I just keep walking. Well, as I get closer and closer, I realize I'm walking toward this is a holographic projection.
So he's talking about walking away from the refugee camp and he's seeing something in the sky and he's like heat waves, and he's like, what's up with this? So listen to how he describes his experience going up to this.
At the edge of the dome is a holographic projection. Closer, I realize I'm walking toward this is a holographic projection at the edge of the dome.
Yeah.
And there's no real mountains out there. That's just a visual effect. And as I got closer, I said, well, fuck this, I'm going to keep walking. As I got closer, I could start seeing the matrix-looking energy grid around this place. Now, they talk about energy grids on Earth, and they talk about this being a prison planet, and they talk about people getting captured and brought here. So, on physical Earth, this place here And I was having an ubi that represented all of that stuff before I heard any of the stories about Earth being this prison planet. I mean, I heard it was a prison planet, but none of the details. And yet here I am having this first-hand experience. And so here I am walking into this matrix-looking thing, and it was like years before, it was like 1989 or something. Years before the Matrix movie came out. So as I walk closer and closer to it, I start feeling afraid. Me. Afraid? That's not right. I don't do that. So I just keep walking. I'm starting getting all fucking nervous and scared. And then I got this urge to turn around and run back to the crowd. Real strong urge.
Pause that, because that hit home so freaking hard with me. Dudes. I mean, I can't tell you how hard that hits home with me. To be like, when you die, you go out somewhere and you just have this fear that if you're going too far away, or that something's coming up that's like, oh, I want to go back, I want to go back, I want to get out of here, I want to go back. It's like claustrophobia times a million. It's like the feeling of the unknown times a million, the feeling of a predator times a million. Like all these things that you just wouldn't want to screw with. It's just, it definitely doesn't look good in your favor times a million. And I think that is, I don't know, an energy, a frequency. Maybe the egg is already 5G or better. The dome, the shell, the covering. What's the chat saying? What are you guys thinking about this? Freaking you out yet? Is this like a Tales from the Crypt episode yet? Don't tempt me.
We can always talk about the dome together.
What's up, Paige? Earth Pond. Big hugs to everybody in the chat. Give them out. It's all free. Holy crap, Horry, it makes sense to me. Some of this, yeah, about the ghosts. They have holograms now that you can touch. Ooh. Yeah, 6G dome, shit. 6G, like, whew. We got 20G. That's how bad it is. I mean, look, he gets into some real deep stuff. We're only 37 minutes in, so let's see. 10G, I know, right? 10G.
I just want to turn away and run back to the group. And I go, huh, that's what that lady did. She got all scared. She turned around, she ran back down into town where all the people were. Sheeple. Go back with a sheep. Safe. So I had that real strong urge. I go, this is a fucked up, this is programming. This is an energy wave. This is not happening. I said, fuck you, and I just kept walking. And it walks a little bit further, and you just walk right through it.
Explicit language.
And out, away. If it was physical, planet Earth, I'm imagining, quite likely, very similar.
I'll be right back.
People, they drop dead, they're having an out-of-body experience, they get up near that energy grid thing, and they're going to start feeling afraid. And they're going to want to turn back or something, and go to the light or something. Yeah. No, just confront the shit, man. That's it. Anyway, that was my most interesting out-of-body experience, and it really relates to prison planet Earth and all that. And I eventually was forced back into my body. I don't know what's doing that. It's like real powerful programming. Because most of the out-of-body experiences I have, it's not like, okay, I'm ready to go back now. No, it's always something pulls me back, shifts me back. How about with you?
It's like 50-50. I feel like, most of the percent of the time, like, I notice similar phenomena, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, it's like very similar to video games. I can live in Ubi for a few years. Like, my body's asleep, and an hour or two can pass while the physical body is sleeping, and now they're in the realm that I'm like playing in and doing something is gonna be a few years, and I can be on missions, I can go on an underground basis, I can like check out like tons of things, and after a while like I get enough done, and I'm like, okay, good enough, like time to save like progress and disconnect, and then go back and check what's going on, like how much time passed, like I'm checking, like comparing, like how long have I been here, and I need to check if like the dead place still can like come back consciously. But it's a 50-50 thing. Like if I feel like I'm good enough ubis where I can spend like a few years and like literally like this physical body is like for a few hours, I'm there for a few years, and I live there, I have family, I can live for over 100 years and like experience a lot of like in that realm, and come back here and I'm like, oh, it's just been an hour, oh okay, and like so for me it's like really fun, but 50-50, like I can get like I get sucked out here or back too. Like,
Yeah.
so, against my own will, like no, I'm doing some pops back into the body.
Yeah.
So that's
Some amazing stuff. So here we are. We're talking about prison planet Earth and stuff. We're going to get back to that Moksha thing and those remote viewers and that little report. But I thought we'd pause here and see if there's any questions and interact with you guys from the chat. So I don't know how long we've been talking, but we might have to scroll up and come back down and look at stuff. But I'll let Agvila read some of this stuff, and if there's questions or anything, fire away.
Yeah. So we've been up for like 40 minutes. We have 150 people watching.
Really? Hi, everybody. Hi, what's up?
So those of you who have Q&A, like if you have questions, drop it down right now, because I can scroll up chat and look for questions, or we can have something answered right now. So go on, if you have questions, answer. And the first one that shows up, like, what are your thoughts on Wes Penry?
Wes Penry?
Yeah.
I really like Wes Penry and his stuff. He's an ex-Scientologist, by the way, as so many people are. And so he left, I don't know how long ago he left that stuff, but
He talks a little bit about Scientology here, and I've always wondered about Scientology. Really interesting video. I gotta go ahead and take and post the link here to the actual here. There we go. That'll save. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Earthpond. LOL, Horry. What's the channel name? I can't quite see it. It's the channel name is Rich2150X on YouTube. All one word. Rich2150X. All right.
Bill Ryan of was it Project? Was it Camelot?
Avalanche?
Avalon.
Yeah, well.
Well, anyway, that guy, him too. The guy that wrote the book, Spencer, what's his name? Lawrence Spencer, Alien Interview. He was a Scientologist.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Wes Penry here, but I myself was in Scientology for 14 fucking years. But you know what? I was in that stuff before a lot of you were, and left it before probably half of you were born. So I left that stuff in 1984. Was it 94, 104, over 30 years ago. Long story, funny story. But the thing about Wes Penry and myself and others is that we learned a lot about galactic history and the nature of the spirit and the nature of man by having done a lot of past life regression work. And in Scientology, they do a lot of entity work. I mean, they're one of the few groups in recent times that would offer training to such a detailed extent about entities. But it's secret. You don't know that. I didn't find out about that entity stuff in Scientology for 14 years until I got out of Scientology. And then you find out, well, what the hell, what was all that stuff that I didn't do? It had to do with entity work. So it's not the only thing, you know, it's certainly not the first thing that ever showed up about entity work, but you can learn a lot about the subject, and you can start learning how to interact and deal with entities, do entity release work, and then you can start learning from other teachers and other people who have experienced entity phenomena.
Entity release work, Scientology, is basically keeping you from knowing that it's a lot of entity contact, entity research, demonic stuff. Like, you don't say.
And the skill sets you get from doing that stuff really help with your own spiritual development and your research. So Wes Penry did a lot of that, and then just kept going with his stuff. His latest thing that I heard, he made a video. It was kind of the last video I watched of his. He was sharing his findings about after we die. His take on it is that we get shattered in a gazillion little splintery bits, like dust, little particles, and that's our consciousness, the being that we believe ourselves to be now. He's going into little bits, and then like us with 1,000 other people, dust. It's like Richie dust, Avila dust, and you, and so imagine 100 or 1,000 people in one room getting all, and then swirled around, and then the dust particles are vacuum backed up. But now you got a little of me, a little of you, a little of you, and a little of them, and them, and them, and them, and them, and they get reconstituted or repackaged into orange concentrate, kind of like orange juice. 1,000 oranges. So you get, it's not all from one orange, you see.
Yeah.
You get the analogy there. It's not.
Is this where we get the "we are all one" sort of thing? Because I don't know.
All one. But there's a new spirit being is then put together and forced back into another body, reincarnation. That's Wes Penry's. It's my interpretation of what Wes Penry was saying. I highly recommend you watch his stuff to get the exact thing he said. Now, I'm not saying that I've seen that happen, and
I'm not sure if I'm on board completely with that theory of reincarnation where you're that much of a mix of everybody, but it would explain some things.
I'm not saying I agree with it, but I'm not saying I disagree with it.
Yeah.
Like I say, when people drop dead, all kinds of different beings, I mean gazillions of us, we drop dead and we experience something. And everybody has the potential of experiencing something different by virtue of their belief systems, their needs, their wants, their desires, their history, their consciousness, their focus. All kinds of things come into play. So that's how I understand it. I wouldn't get overly freaked out or scared by something I said about the afterlife or something Wes Penry or anybody else says. You know, you're going to buy into or you're going to agree to some things you hear. You're going to agree, I like that. You agree that you like it. And you go, yeah, I believe that. And you've agreed that you believe it. Somebody share you I can share you one of my beliefs, and you go, no, I don't think so. You're not agreeing, so you're not believing. But you go, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, Rich, I believe you. Yeah, I agree. You've agreed to a belief. Now the belief becomes yours. Now you live it. It becomes your part of your the nature of your reality. So that's one question. How many we got? I'll try to. Should I
Talk it up.
talk it up, or should I
It's okay, talk it up.
talk it up?
Thing of like West Pavilion stuff, I've talked to people who passed away, and lots of them had different stories, and none of them said about the explosion. But when I went out of body quite a few times, I did see archons themselves using their guns and stuff, not as much to capture the people that passed away, but it's just to capture the free souls. Like they're just like playing this like universe and can be like still away from the physical realms, but they can just be in other realms and they're still captured and form like.
Well, Paige is like, why freak out? We can't do anything about it anyway. Well, no, like if we know what's going on, there are people I think that come back into this world and they have full recollection of their past lives. Like look at like indigo children, or there's got to be some way to come back without being forced their way. Like think about if it's just a matter of skipping a line, cutting in line. If everybody's just following, they just got wiped. They're just going. They're like a conveyor belt, like going to the slaughter. The slaughter meaning they've just got repackaged, stripped. They died. They got caught going out the dome. Whatever. They got sucked into whatever. Agreed to a contract to come back to whatever for whatever. Yeah, like here you go. Yep, that's all there is. Just come on back through into the reincarnation rodeo. And they get wiped. So at some point they gotta just be like going. They gotta just be like a ball of zombified souls going down this conveyor belt back into reincarnation. And I don't know. What if you skip the line there? You pick your access point, your entry point, and reincarnate with all your knowledge. I mean, that would be amazing. I mean, you'd at least be 100 years ahead of the fold. But then you look at them doing cloning, like. This is just talk about skip the line. Like they got their own custom made meat shields. Like it could be a thing. I mean, I don't know. This could tie into so many things that I've been like racking my brain, trying to figure this stuff out now.
Transferred here, and their souls are mashed up and like dropped here on Earth.
Yeah.
So I have like lots of variations, but stories are similar.
Yeah. And there's definitely the clustering of entities, beings. You can get 100 or 1,000 of them, and using the electronic stuff, the archon stuff, the implanters, the dark forces, whatever you want to call these bad boys that believe in control and domination and enslavement of us, while they get all the goods, and they parasitic fuckers siphon and suck off the energy and life out of us. So I was going to say that Wes Penry's studies and stuff, he talks about that sort of thing, and I think he's got great resources, and his courses and the depth of what he's researched and shared with us. I mean, thumbs up, man. Yeah. Thanks, Wes.
All right. So another question is from Donnie Black, and he's asking, how can we donate to you too?
There should be we tried to figure out, there should be a donate button right around here somewhere.
Yeah, like there's a donate button in the chat. Like if you write the comment, there's a smiley face, and then there's the star thing. But we also have Patreon set up, like Rich DX and the Filosava Patreon.
Yeah.
If people feel like it, like feel free.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sunny Days is asking, can you really go back and change the past? Like with all the time and stuff, can you change your past?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, now talk it up.
Oh. Big stuff.
Now, let's see. This is the change your past part, which it's interesting. Wait, did I fill this up yet? It's interesting, but I don't know I don't know how I feel about it really, because if I could change my past, I don't know. Would you? I want to hear from you guys in the chat. If you could change your past, would you? And do you want to hear this part, or do you? Should we skip to I think the next part where I hope he's talked about the blind study, where there were 4 remote viewers given blind targets, and they actually all kind of agreed to one thing, and that this was a prison planet. The stuff that they picked up on was, I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Like how you could actually come to these conclusions from a blind anything. But yeah, do you guys want to hear this part about the going to your past and how you supposedly could, I don't know, go down a different timeline? Yeah, skip ahead. Cloning is scary. How would they have a soul? I'd go back and stop my partner from dying. Well, that's quite polarizing in the chat. I'm not sure what to do. It's just long. It's
a funny story. No, it's deep. It's deep shit. But
yeah, it is
time
deep.
travel, and
I'm gonna skip ahead.
Or football or baseball. This is how you change the past. Time track of it, and they have that memory of it from another dimension, somewhere in the multiverse. Very powerful beings, and even we have gotten caught up in this.
All right,
They insert like
for the entire race or the entire planet, or I'm sure glad I went to Europe when I was 20. Yeah. Had I not gone to Europe, I wouldn't have done the thing I did that I really
right at the
I'm
end.
really glad I did. It made my life successful and wonderful. There can be an alternate life where you didn't go to Europe and that shit didn't happen. But you have changed your past. You see? You see how it works? Simple, huh? All done. It's deep shit, but people can do that. And time travel is a real thing, and time wars are a real thing. And there are
Time wars. Time wars are a real thing. He talks about Mandela in this too. It might have been the parts when we skipped. He brings up Mandela. It gets deep. He said that in the beginning, so it's worth a watch. I'm not skipping over it because it's all sounding like nonsense. No, it's not why I'm skipping over it. I'm skipping over it because it gets deep, and you guys got to check it out. This whole hour, just watch it straight through. Just go watch this video. It's an hour and a half long. Watch this video.
beings in other realms. That's what they do. They tweak timelines to improve the conditions for the entire race or the entire planet or people or whatever. It's a real thing. It really is. And this whole Mandela effect, that's a real thing. This people that are here are remembering, it didn't used to be like this in the alternate or the earlier time track of the same time. It's the same year and the same day, but there's an alternate version of it, and they have that memory of it, and we call it the Mandela effect.
I've had movies where I can sort of think of Einstein and, for example, string theory, like timeline as a string, and I've had movies where basically there's like a lot of good things happening in this like lifetime, and archons are like, oh, okay, like this seems like a good place to get resources and like lots of good beings that we can then like like conquer and take over, and so basically they create this piece of timeline where they come in and they take over and everyone else obeys, and they insert like it's like playing a doctor. This is a string of like lifetime, and they cut one piece out, put what they created in, like sew it up, but everything alters like regarding to that whole thing, and now I go into that line of what's going on in these realms, and it's like the whole galaxy, everything's connected and stuff, and all these realms are destroyed, and everyone's obeying archons, and everyone's zombies and all the blah. So it's like fuck that.
Yeah.
So these time wars is a big thing.
Oh yeah.
It's like back and forth. Bad guys change it, good guys change it after another.
Yeah. You have to, makes you wonder, how powerful are we really for them to go to all this trouble to keep us subdued and ignorant. Alex Collier talks about
how powerful are we for them to go through all this trouble to keep us subdued, trapped in this dome, harvested. He might have said it earlier in some of the parts we skipped, but he says, he thinks when we die, a piece of us are chipped off, our souls, piece of us are whittled down and chipped off and used to feed. They're feeding from us. They're feeding off of our energy. They are. We've always heard this. We've probably felt that to be very true. They're feeding off of our energy. They're feeding off of our souls, literally. And that's what bothers me. People are just, we're going, he says it earlier, if you didn't watch the video, we're going down this drain of we used to be really intense, amazing, spiritual, powerful, and we still are, but we used to be way up here, but now we're just going down the grinder. Every death is getting chipped. I don't know. And it's, I think we can recover, but we have to arm ourselves with knowledge, at least. And this place is such a shithole. We're putting on VR helmets and saying, I'm out. I'm out. At least for a little while.
the Ptah. This trouble to keep us subdued and ignorant. Alex Collier talks about the Ptah. These very powerful beings from another dimension, somewhere in the multiverse. Very powerful beings. And even we have gotten caught up in this. And this advanced technological dark side that is trying to dominate and control the entire universe, physical universe, are fighting these guys. So there's very powerful beings being fought with very intelligent beings with very high technology.
Yeah.
And it's multidimensional technology. And so it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's a fucking war. It's called the war in heaven.
Alright, so we have another question. A person is asking, why would any being want to voluntarily incarnate to experience human life?
I know. Who would do that? It doesn't make sense. I can see who'd want to jump into a raging river, right? Well, to save your dog. Dog fell in the river, trying to get out. You might be brave enough to jump in there. Who the fuck would jump in a raging river? Well,
why are we coming back? Why are we coming back here?
Some decent being that wants to save someone they love. That's logical.
Yeah.
But who else?
I think adrenaline junkies, how they love all these goods and stuff. I think people might challenge themselves, I want to see if I can do it. I'm so fucking good, I want to see if I can do it, and then they get trapped and reincarnate.
Yeah.
That's some people voluntarily challenge themselves. I know people who would get out of body, and no matter what realm they're in, they would consciously increase the difficulty to feel pain and other things, just to make it more fun.
Yeah, it's like loading up a computer game, and putting it on most extreme difficulty level. It's psychologically, why would a person do that? For the challenge. It's maybe their skill set's up to it, or their overinflated ego is up to it, or whatever. Yeah. But they're, hey, bring it. The thing is, no pain. So we can logically think about it that way, but apparently I've heard stories about the overself choosing to put one of its underselves into the physical universe, into these painful situations. But guess what? The overself's not feeling any fucking pain.
Yeah.
It's like the overself is putting a piece of itself into the physical universe, but then blocking off the feeling of pain. You'd have to. With all the little underselves it's got in the physical world, it'd be going up there as overself, be going, oh, ow, oh, ow, that's fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, fuck. They couldn't even fucking think straight. But they don't do that. I mean, I haven't heard any stories about overselves in extreme pain.
I mean, like, it's very similar to higher self and lower self being like that angel, spirit guide on the cloud, away from Earth. Like, oh, you try it out. Earth's cool. You have to experience it. Try it out. Like, do it again. Do better. And they're like far away, watching how you do and telling you how good it's gonna be when you go there. But they themselves will just watch it and be like far away from there.
Yeah. Something's really fucking fishy about that whole fucking story. I mean, I can see how it might be possible, but when you just, ask somebody, hey, would you want to be here? Fuck no. Let's keep it simple. The simple answer is probably the right answer. Well, no, I'd say I don't want to be here, but my overself. Oh, fuck, please. Have you talked to your overself lately? Well, no.
Haven't heard from them for a while, huh?
It's been a while. Fucking bitch left town. Where are you? You leave me in this fucking shithole.
Think about
I
it.
can't get out.
Really.
Yeah, but you can't. You can get out.
Yeah.
I believe that there's holes in the grid.
Before it goes into that, like, why? Yeah, why do we keep coming back in here? Is there somebody we trying to save? Something that happened? Like, did we crash landing through this? Like, what's the what's really the deal here? And it's scary to think that, like we have something we're attached to in here. Something's going on that we want back. Something happened. That's what I feel like. We have an attachment here. We have a common goal. And what if that's true? What if, like, the whole time we've been incarnating here, we've been losing pieces of our soul? It's trapped up in this machine. I don't know. Like, it's like, I gotta get this piece and that piece back, or something. I don't know what it is, because I would just love to jet out and rebuild somewhere else. But what if we're getting thrown back, getting collected, being chased down by the Archon police or something, and tased back into these coffins and just thrown back down through the dome, like shoved through this mind wipe machine? And oh my god, like the worst. I'm thinking the worst because I've always felt we were just trapped here, and the dome thing makes a lot of sense, and I just hate it. You don't always have to like it. Maybe it's a bonus stage, points or triple. It's just what's up, Will? To make themselves look like your loved ones tell you to go with them, right? Earth Pond, yeah. Like, they're like, hey, come with me. Come with me. This is what we do now. Let's go this way, and then just take a walk into this box of light. Go get healed. Psh, and you forget everything. All right, now get in there. It's just the whole ball game just changes. You don't know what the hell's going on. You're like, what the hell? I can see that, I can see that. Anyway, listen to the holes in the grid.
Some people believe that the grid's gone, and for them it probably is. But you can blow holes in that thing. Yeah, or just go through a hole. Somebody else blew a hole in it for you.
And I think it's even easier to just not go through the holes, but like just teleport.
Yeah, just teleport. And if you're having
No,
trouble with that
patience.
sort of, I'm sorry.
No, go on.
No, you. If you're having troubles with that sort of thing, you can do soul contract revocation stuff. Because again, we have to agree. Now, we can get in a big argument about that too. Well, you have to agree to this shit. Like, who would agree to this shit? It's like somebody holding a gun to your head and say, jump. You don't have to jump. You have a choice here. Do you agree to jump? Well, I agreed to jump. And you jump into the alligators in the swamp. Who would jump into that shit? Well, I had a gun in my hand. So you had a choice. Or there wasn't a guy with a gun. It was a guy with $1 million. So you jump in there, jump right back out. I'll give you $1 million fucking dollars. Okay. And you agree to jump in. The guy told you, no, there's no alligators in there. There's just couple of big salamanders and a big frog or two. And one snapping turtle. $1 million? Mm-hmm. This is a Decepticon. This is a fucking lying son of a bitch to get you to do something. You agree to do it, and it's not what you thought it was going to be. They lied. Yeah. It's simply put, they lied. And they're not going to give you $100 if you $1 million if you do get out. But it's not a couple of fucking frogs, a salamander, and a snapping turtle either.
Yeah, like what's the contract? What's the deal? Who we talk about soul contracts being a thing. Like, do we get approached by something that makes us feel comfortable enough to look back at this place and be like, all right, I'll do it again, because we must be valuable to whatever wants to keep us here. We must be valuable. We're an energy source for these things. Right? I'm thinking if we're an energy source for these things, they want to keep us here. They have enough trouble keeping us here because they have to trap us anyway and shove us here back through, I guess. That's what I'm thinking. But they'd like to keep it cordial, maybe, and send us back via contract and give us the shitty end of the deal. Is that what he's going on here? What do you guys think about this in the chat? Wonder what they tempted me to do to come here. It's just irks. Irks, I know. What did they get me to do? Like, yeesh. Kind of crazy ass shit that I agree to. Can I join and ask a few questions and make a few statements? Proprietor, what do you want to talk about? I don't know if I'm doing a call-in show just yet, but maybe after I'm done with all this. What did they tempt me to do to come here? Where does the Bible, God fit in? Just a story keeping us hoping. Paige, yeah, like, that's something to ponder. Like, it keeps us waiting keeps us waiting to be saved. And I wonder if, when you go out, when you die, like, what greets you first? It could just be like this elaborate thing where they got a bajillion, let's say they got, like, in your local area, they got 50 Jesus imposters that will come out at any given moment and meet up with you when you pass and say, oh, well, let's go to the pearly gates, and that whole thing. And they have like a Hollywood warehouse where they take you through whatever this experience is. You're already shocked enough anyway. I don't I don't know. Like, they have to be reaching people on this level that gets them and just redirecting their consciousness back the best way possible with the shittiest deal. Something's just not right. Like, we don't have the answers to this, but I've always felt that we were trapped. I've always felt I don't want to keep coming back here. I've always felt there was a reason I must be here. And yeah, it's to figure out what's got us trapped here. It's to figure out what has us trapped here, and and how to break the cycle, because it's a cycle, secular trap.
I'll tell you that part. But you agreed to jump. We agreed to reincarnate. They tell you some fucking story, you buy it and you jump. Or, oh, okay, do me. Go ahead, pull the switch.
Yeah.
It's just a little tickle. I mean, your mind wiped when you get done, you're like, you don't even have enough brain power to go, what just happened? Because you don't remember there was something that was a what that happened. You're just like, why am I upside down? Like on my feet. Thump. Little kid dropped. Did you get dropped? Your head when you were a baby? I don't remember. Shit like that, but there you are, forced reincarnation, man. They don't have to like stick a gun to your head.
I mean, come on, like Archons can, like, it's like Wolf in like She's suit, you know, like dresses up as your loved one and tells you a nice story, or like Jesus, like, you know, oh, you have to fix your mistakes, be better, and they tell you all about the bullshit you did, but never about the good stuff you did. Like,
Yeah.
you fucked up there, bitch. And like,
All you need is some long fucking hair, and your beard looking thing. You know, you get a few go to any Catholic church and get a few images of Jesus. You just look like that. Wings, get some fucking wings. No, Jesus wasn't into the wings, was he? No, Jesus didn't need wings. He walked on water and shit. But yeah, just look like that and then talk like that. Talk like Jesus. And be all loving and shit. And then have Jesus tell you to go jump back in for another reincarnation. Anyway, I'm just saying.
Right?
So another question is, what is the difference between time travel and astral travel?
Okay, time travel is traveling through time, and astral travel is traveling through the astral plane. Thank you. Next question. No, I see.
He just drags this one out for a
Your
while.
point,
So
because you
hold
can
on.
another. Yeah, money talks, man.
Be nice.
Anyway, I'm just saying. I just wanted to, let her know that,
Yeah.
she gets some priority treatment here. No, you'll be literally like there. Hey, this is a family reunion, and you'll see people. Oh, this is my family. Maybe you can't tell which ones are cousins or uncles or sisters or some shit like that. But
All right. This is right before the other question.
But what was John or something?
John Roberts was asking, do you have a way to tell who your real family members are in out-of-body experience?
Yeah, when you come.
How to tell who your real family members are during an out-of-body experience. I thought this was pretty cool, so we'll listen to this one.
Consciousness shifts and you find yourself in another realm and you're with family, you'll know it. You'll go, oh, I'm with my family. Literally, not like, this seems like my family. No, you'll be literally like there, hey, this is a family reunion. And you'll see people, oh, this is my family. Maybe you can't tell which ones are cousins or uncles or sisters or some shit like that. But you go, this is family. And sometimes you will actually see your relatives, They might have the same body look that they have here, but it might be completely different. But I know. It's like you can feel it, and it's not a guessing game. You're with family, and it can be a soul family that nobody here on this plane you've ever seen before, but they are your loving family. Yeah, it's real easy. When it happens, you'll know it. Yeah. Learn how to get out of body.
I feel it too, Paige.
John's like really working on it. Like,
Oh yeah,
He's a
John.
cool guy.
John. Hey, thanks. I love all your comments, John. I've been reading a lot of them on our channel.
Amazing person. Like I've had a few sessions with him. Like very positive.
Yeah.
Anyway, like for me, like when I get a body, like all what you said, but also I like sort of like have memories or sort of like there's this specific feeling state or energy about him, like very loving, very like warm, and you just like feel familiarity with that. So like when I'm out of body, I'm like sort of remembering or recalling what it feels like to be with them, and I like put an intent to go there, and I teleport, and there it is. That like family I have, or like in any kind of realm, is like right there. And like I have a few specific trips where I go out, and it's like more of a rehab place. It's like far away from Earth where it is physical, but it's a very loving planet. All of the beings, and it's basically like recharging you in every single way, and like spiritually and all the love and energy light. And like I loved it.
Yeah.
It's like very different.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Hey, did I mention to you, or you guys?
What?
We get this crazy half price off or something sale on all of our
Half
courses.
price. What are you selling?
Ice cream cones. No, soul contract course, Ubi boot camp, entity course, stuff like that. And if you get over there and it's not showing up half price,
And
just say,
where can they go to buy this?
oh, richwest.net.
Which was that now?
Yeah.
Huh. Keep on.
It's an ego.
Keep on pitching, yeah.
It's a vanity website.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But, yeah. Anyway. What's up, people? Are you enjoying this? We're kind of just goofing tonight. We're not like,
We
like...
have tons of people talking it up to each other and stuff, and I'm just scrolling looking for the question with like... we have 164 people watching.
Hey!
It's just amazing.
That's great.
Yeah. Like, you should see this chat. Like, there's plenty of people. I'm looking for a question mark so that I can find, like...
Oh, that's it. If you ask a question in chat, do about like 5 or 10 question marks there. We'll pick it up real fast.
Found that. Like, there's lots.
So they're just getting started, basically doing this live stream and stuff, and it's really cool.
Like, you wanna...
Okay, no more questions.
I mean, there's probably plenty, like...
Well, no, this would be a good place for a break.
You want
Not
a
a break.
Like, you guys can check out the full video, but that's pretty much the meat and bones of this one. And we watched what I felt like was the most important when it came to talking about his personal experience. Before what we watched, there was a part where he talks about the scientists doing a blind study with these remote viewers. The government pays, paid a lot into the remote viewing, or still does, program. And these guys all kind of came to the same conclusion on a blind study, that we were in a prison planet and recycled and everything. It's just terrible. And I don't know. My gut just tells me that's the thing. So what am I doing with this now? I'm like, I guess I have to have my own dome experience. Right? I mean, I have to go to the dome. Like, for realsies. Let's see what I know how to fly. I mean, I know how I can do it, but it really freaks me out, dude. It's like Neo when he's at the top of the building and he's going to jump to the other building. Like, he knows he can make it, but like as soon as he looks down, he's like, oh, like it's that fear of going down that I don't like. And it's very scary. I could fly up and up and up and up, and then if I'm ever worried about going down, it's not gonna hurt. It's just gonna suck. It's a scary feeling. So I think that there's like maybe a bit of fear I have to get over. Maybe I'll have to do some VR heights, board planking, walking training. Try to get over my fear of heights. I don't know. But yeah. This explanation of what he said, life is like, or his outer body experience was like, with the earth being flat, there being a dome, there being this sort of collection spaceship up there. It's like, oh my God, it rings true some kind of way, and it sucks. Because I know I would keep coming back here. Why? Why would you keep coming back to this place? Paige says, thanks for sharing, Horry. It's so important we share this stuff. Yeah, it's not always the good stuff. It's not always easy to hear. But yeah, I felt like I've been sitting on this for a couple of days, and man, it just took everything I felt in my gut, which my gut doesn't, dude, my gut doesn't lie. Like, I got the goosebumps and everything from this, which is my spiritual feeling and sign. And uh, I think this is what it is. And we need to freaking figure out how to get out of here, past their little soul trap police. And at some point he said this place was taken over by something else that's harvesting us now. No lie. I think this might have been what the scientist that did the remote viewing said, but might be getting across. Anyway, thing is, he's like, yeah, what if we lost the war? What if this place was built? What if this place was built for us to enjoy, like a paradise, to experience, to come, to learn, to grow, just to be in the physical, and some kind of war that was bigger than us. It was, this is just a little piece of property. It's a very important piece of property, right? It's beautiful. A lot of people came together to make this amazing place. But then this bigger war happened, and we got taken over here. This property was taken over, and now they've realized they could use it as a sort of Duracell battery. And that's what happens. And maybe other people have, other races, other beings are like, oh shit, my wife was in there, my husband was in there, my kids were in there, experiencing Earth paradise. I gotta go help them. And so there's beings that are constantly maybe fighting for others here. Maybe they're coming in through the dome, trying to get out, aka alien abductions. He goes on to say, like, what if we get, reincarnated? If we're a different race, if we get trapped here and we die here, we get kind of shoved into a human body. That's why some people don't look very, very much like normal humans. They're like just like reptilioids or alien grays. Like, I don't know. Who knows? It's just, yeah, what if we already lost the war, Paige? That's what I'm saying. What if we frickin' already lost the war? Silly humans are just sorry. Right? Like, what if we lost the frickin' war? That's what I'm getting at. There's no more winning the battles and shit. We lost the war a long time ago. We're stuck. So now what? The Bible will teach us to wait for our Savior. Well, so will the prison guards. Just wait it out. You're still a great power source for us. Just wait it out. Oh, you'll be fine. Just wait it out. I still need your battery. I still need your souls.
We still need your souls.
Paige says, you might like the videos I forgot about the words we use being about electricity and energy harvesting. One of my playlists has videos from a guy who believes this energy harvesting thing. Eric's Child says, as light beings, the firmament is no barrier, but the physical bodies, it can't be done. Yeah, well, Eric's, if we get out as light beings and there's some other technology that can trap us and repackage us and shove us back down through the dome and in a just the way we do any livestock, chicken, cow, whatever, it goes through a conveyor belt, it gets chopped up to get sent to Popeyes and McDonald's. Like, we're just sent back through as humans to get slapped with another birth certificate, social security number, in the hospital system, vaccinated. Hopefully they I'm sure they're banking on us ending up with some sort of a disability, and so we're just easier to control. Like, it's not about how expensive it is to feed us and stuff like that. We're just dumber we are, the less capable of free thinking, or the less dependent we are, the better. Well, the more dependent we are, sorry, the better. That's why it didn't work right with my brain. And they know what they're doing. It's a system. It's a system, I think, in the physical and the non-physical. So what happens when you die? Well, just remember this episode. Remember this hour and a half's worth of your time. And that's what I have for you. That's what I had for you here with the Horry Sheet Show. I wanted to keep it under the 2-hour mark. I think we did that. This whole video he's in here is an hour and a half, and you can watch the whole thing. The links below. The links below here in the YouTube description. But yeah, really interesting video. I can barely remember it last week, says Erks. Eric, do you want to play some Overwatch? I'm gonna get off of here, and I gotta play something to wind down. You wanna throw down in some ranked? Jupiter Rising was a good flick about that. I'm gonna check it out, Paige. The energy harvesting thing. All right, cool. So I'm gonna get off of here, guys. Please leave your comments down below. Sam Squanch, what was that? Yeah, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about his whole story. You know, this whole concept of, are we reincarnated? Are we forced back here or what? Anyway, y'all take care. Much love. Much love, Paige. Much love, Ergs. Singe Man. Bob was in here. Earth Pond. Ace McCloud. Alright, guys. Dead by Daylight, favorite game at the moment. Sorry, that was the original video link. Oh no, that's cool. Alright, yep. Till next time, guys. Which will be soon. I'm having fun. I'm just having a lot of fun playing VR. And I'm learning about VR chat. I found out how to make my own character and walk through VR chat. I found out that I can have a room. I can set up a room with memes on the wall, flat earth memes on the wall, and have videos playing in certain rooms, like video rooms for the flatness and the curve, or video rooms for any topic. People can go in and see flat earth content in my VR chat room. And if I can get a little help with the 3D model creation, we're good. I want to walk around. I might have to do it myself. I might have to make a black stick man with the flat earth azimuth equidistant map around his, like starting at his neck, collarbone, flat right here, and then a dome for the head with the sun and the moon hopefully rotating. Maybe it won't rotate, probably won't rotate, but maybe you could just be outside of it. I don't know. But it's gonna take a lot of time. I don't like to half-ass my way into anything and just go in there with like Dr. Mario or an astronaut. Like, that's too easy. I want to make my own little model and walk around as the flat earth stick man guy or something. I don't know. I need help. If you're a 3D modeler, reach out and get in touch with me. I want to flat smack in VR space. That's coming up next on the Horry Sheet Show. Goodbye. Much love.